A very good afternoon to all our viewers. Thanks for tuning into NDTV. This is the Southern View. For the next half hour, me and my colleagues from down south will take you through all the stories that's making news in the southern part of India. Joining me from Tamil Nadu are my colleagues Sam Daniel and Vijay. We also have Uma Sudhir and Ashish who are joining us from Andhra Pradesh. We'll also, of course, keep you posted on everything that's happening in Kerala too. But first up, there's news coming in from Karnataka. Now, the Chief Minister's travel by choppers and aircrafts, especially the chartered aircrafts, has become a big topic of debate here in Karnataka. It was a BJP MLC, in fact, who raised this question in the Legislative Council just yesterday, and an official data was provided which has showed that in the last 2.5 years, the Chief Minister has spent about 47 crore rupees for his travel. Now, the BJP here says two things. One is that the Chief Minister has always, pitched himself as a socialist. So why is he indulging in such sort of a luxury travel? And especially when there are short distance travels like to Mysuru or other regions where there are good highways and he could, reach there very quickly. Why is he opting to go by air is the charge that's coming in. The other charge that they make here is that the roads in Karnataka have been reduced to a pathetic condition, and that's the reason he's avoiding the roads and taking the flight. The Congress, of course, is rebutting quite strongly and saying that the data of the BJP-ruled states of their chief ministers and then the Prime Minister flying by air should be provided to draw a parallel, and this is an unnecessary political rhetoric is the charge that's coming in from the Congress party. Firstly, let's listen to what the BJP had to say and then followed by the reactions from the Congress. काउंसिल में डेटा दिया जा रहा है चीफ मिनिस्टर के एयर ट्रैवल के बारे में, करोड़ों खर्च हो रहे हैं, आप इसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहते हैं?
हाँ, मजावादी और समाजवादी के बीच में बहुत अंतर है. पहले राम मनोहर लोहिया के जैसे, जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस के जैसे, शांतवेरी गोपाल गौड़ा जी के जैसे सिंपल नेता, समाजवादी नेता रहते थे. आज समाजवादी लोग नया तरीका का समाजवादी लोग है. स्व मजा करने वाला समाजवादी होता है. ऐसा स्व मज के लिए हेलीकॉप्टर के गए से गया है. रास्ते में बहुत गड्ढा भी है, लोग भी पूछता है रास्ते देख लो पूछता है. उसके लिए वो लोग हेलीकॉप्टर से में जाएगा तो, फ्लाइट में जाएगा तो पूछने वाला कौन है? सरकार का पैसा है, पूछने वाला कौन है? आप सीएम भी है, रास्ते में जाएगा तो गड्ढे के वजह से आसान से जा नहीं सकता. जनता भी पूछता है कैसा रास्ता है, देख लो पूछता है. आप हेलीकॉप्टर में जाएगा तो कॉमन मैन ऊपर देख सकता है, उनका पूछ नहीं सकता.
What is the expenditure of the Prime Minister's travels? What is the Prime Minister? See, they are talking about clothes, they are talking about watches. What is the expenditure of the Prime Minister's clothes? So let us not get discourse to that level. You see, let's talk responsibly, let's talk reasonably, let us address the real issues that we are facing. See, they have no issue.
Opposition does not have any other things to say. See, Chief Minister, what is his age now? He is around 79. At this age, at least he is going to the talukas, villages, every day almost. How he has to travel? Every day if he travels 600, 700 kilometers by road, is it possible? His health will permit? And what is the amount he has spent? 47 crores. In a 2.5 years, is it so big money? What about Narendra Modi? Do you know that Narendra Modi has spent more than 5,000 crores?
Well, that's as far as the Chief Minister's air travel is concerned. Now, overall in Karnataka, the biggest topic in the recent past, of course, has been about the leadership. Now, while there were breakfast meetings in Bengaluru, in Belagavi, it seems like dinner politics is taking center stage. Just day before, the Chief Minister attended a dinner meet with several ministers and MLAs. At that point in time, they said, well, it is just a casual dinner. Now, last night, there was another dinner meet. Interestingly, this time it was the Deputy Chief Minister who was an invitee to that, along with about 30 to 40 legislators. But then, the Chief Minister doesn't take part. But when you speak to both Mr. Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar, they rule out any sort of differences and they say any decision about leadership is left to the High Command, and these dinners are devoid of politics. Firstly, let's listen to what Mr. DK Shivakumar said, followed by the reactions coming in from the BJP as well.
ಯಾವ ಊಟನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಮಾಜಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ 15 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಜನ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ಊಟನೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಿರಿ ಕುಟುಂಬದವರು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಒಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಹೋಗೋದು. ನಾಳಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸೇಟ್ ಕರೆದವ್ರೆ, ಸೇಟ್ ಆಶೀಶ್ ಸೇಟ್ ಕರೆದವ್ರೆ, ಫಿರೋಜ್ ಸೇಟ್ ಕರೆದವ್ರೆ, ಹಂಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಹೋಗೋದು.
Not make a big issue of these things. The Congress legislature party meeting 2 days back was with a dinner. Both of them were present. All our MLAs were present in unison.
That was a CLP meeting, but then
Yes,
why
that
are
is
these
it.
private dinners happening after that?
The CLP meeting and its attendance determines whether there is any kind of division or there is unity in a political party. The legislature party meeting, there was absolutely no issue in the legislature party. Went very smoothly. Both of them had dinner together and they left. Why are you not talking about that?
कल भी एक डिनर मीटिंग हुआ है, डीके शिव कुमार थे, चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं थे. परसों जब चीफ मिनिस्टर एक मीटिंग अटेंड किया था तब डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं थे. इसके बारे में आपका क्या राय है?
डीकेशी का एक ही मुद्दा है, कब कुर्सी में बैठना, कुर्सी कैसा पकड़ना. उसके वजह से डिनर पॉलिटिक्स डीके शिव कुमार कर रहा है. कुर्सी छोड़ने का मन नहीं है, उसके वजह से सिद्धरामैया भी डिनर पॉलिटिक्स कर रहा है. और बिना मुद्दा डिनर पॉलिटिक्स नहीं होता है.
The dinner meeting being held yesterday, the deputy chief minister was a part of it, the chief minister was not. How do you really look at that?
See, they are not looking the face to face now because Siddaramaiah wants to continue for 5 years. DK Shivakumar wants to pull his leg. So this tussle is going on. In the vote chori name, they are traveling to Delhi to meet the high command leaders. So because of this struggle for the power, it is continued.
Thank you, sir. Well, meanwhile, on the 11th of December, the data of growth pertaining to each and every state in the country was released. Now, in the latest details that have now emerged, it seems like Karnataka, of course, is doing fairly well. Is among the top 5 states in terms of GDP growth. But in comparison to Tamil Nadu, it seems like in the last 1 year, Karnataka has taken a hit, and the growth disparity, of course, is becoming pretty evident. Now, on social media, Mohandas Pai, a businessman, of course, and somebody who's considered as a prominent voice in Bengaluru, who's been raising multiple issues pertaining to jobs, pertaining to infrastructure and growth of the state, has now said that it's the freebies that's really leading, to this sort of a situation, the guarantee schemes and the corruption which has led to Karnataka not achieving the level of growth it can actually do, and also falling behind in terms of growth in comparison to Tamil Nadu. Now, while we, of course, questioned multiple people in the government, they say that this is a wrong narrative that's being built. Karnataka is doing very well in terms of per capita and in terms of FDI, and these are other narratives that are just being done to tarnish the name of Karnataka. So the BJP, however, says that because overall the state is being ignored, only leadership is being given priority, it's a total financial mess because of the guarantees. Let's listen to all the reactions that are coming in.
एक फ्रीबी, दूसरा करप्शन के वजह से, फ्रीबीज के वजह से हम पीछे हैं और बहुत दुर्बल सरकार है. अपना सरकार निर्णय नहीं लेता है, डिसीजन नहीं लेता है, उसके वजह से इन्वेस्टमेंट महाराष्ट्र में जाता है, तमिलनाडु में जाता है, गुजरात में जाता है. यहाँ इन्वेस्ट करने वाला आंध्र जाता है, कारण हम डिसीजन नहीं लेता है और करप्शन और दुर्बलता की वजह से हम पीछे जा रहा है.
So that's it for stories from Karnataka. Now over to my colleague Sam Daniel in Tamil Nadu. He takes you through all the updates there.
Thank you, Deepak. 2 days after political parties led by the DMK and under the umbrella of India Bloc moved impeachment resolution against Justice G.R. Swaminathan from the Madras High Court, at least 56 retired judges have signed and sent a note asking for the MPs and political class across the country to not budge under this pressure, as they call it. They say this is nothing but intimidation, and any difference in opinion with respect to verdicts or judgments ought to be challenged in the higher court, and this could be seen as intimidation, and they want parliamentarians to take note of this. In fact, the India Bloc parliamentarians had first written to the President and the Chief Justice of India, listing 13 allegations against Justice Swaminathan, including what they call as judicial indiscipline, what they call as misconduct in his behavior, and they had listed 13 items, including one in which he is seen complimenting BJP leader Annamalai in the judgment. In another, he calls a Catholic priest as crypto-Christian, while in some cases they say advocates who are from the BJP or left-leaning or from the Brahmin community have been favored in several ways. Justice Swaminathan has not responded, but the DMK and other signatories for this petition or this complaint say this has nothing to do with the Thiruparamkundram verdict, because initially they had given this complaint to the Chief Justice and the President in the month of August, and only recently, a few days ago, they call it as a coincidence after the verdict given by him with respect to Thiruparamkundram, asking the temple authorities to light the lamp on top of the ancient pillar on the hilltop near the Dargah. This had its repercussions in the Lok Sabha as well, the Parliament as well, and this is what Anurag Thakur had to say.
Madurai bench of Madras High Court came down strongly on the Tamil Nadu government, accusing officials of deliberately ignoring its order on lighting the Kartikai Deepam lamp at the Madurai Thiruparamkundaram temple. Sir, there are lathis for the devotees. Hindus are lathi charged. Despite the court order, they are not allowed. Despite the court order, they are not allowed to light the lamp, sir.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has asked for clarifications from the Madras High Court with regard to what it calls as wrong happenings between the two benches in Tamil Nadu. This is with respect to the stampede at the TVK rally earlier, which killed 41 people, and the court has questioned how at the same time the Madurai bench, under whose jurisdiction Karur comes, and the main bench in Chennai could pass different orders. It is also questioned how, when the prayer in one petition was to formulate standard operating procedure for holding public rallies or political rallies, how come the judge could constitute a special investigation team? In fact, the Supreme Court earlier had disbanded the special investigation team and has ordered a CBI probe that will be monitored by a team of panel under a retired Supreme Court judge. We'll have to wait and watch how this would move, but at the moment, the Madras High Court has been directed to give its explanation for these specific questions. That's all from Tamil Nadu now. We'll go across to my colleague Ashish in Andhra Pradesh. Ashish.
Thank you, Sam. We start with a very sad and tragic story. This incident took place in Alluri Sitaram Raju district of Andhra Pradesh this morning, and in which a bus overturned. In fact, the bus was traveling from Kakinada to Bhadrachalam of Telangana, and several of the devotees, they were going to Bhadrachalam. Remember Bhadrachalam as the famous and ancient Ram temple. and they wanted to visit Ram Temple, but at around 5:30 a.m. this morning in Alluri Sitaram Raju's district, which is a tribal district of Andhra Pradesh, this bus driver lost control and the bus fell into a gorge. Unfortunately, in this tragic accident, at least 9 passengers, they lost their life. Almost around 22 passengers, they suffered injuries. Out of 22, 3 to 4 passengers are said to be critical. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu inquired about the incident. He instructed the district collector of Alluri Sitaram Raju district to go and visit and meet and arrange all the necessary treatment and other provisions and other arrangements for all those affected in this accident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as well as President of India, Draupadi Murmu, also expressed shock over this accident. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also announced compensation for rupees 2 lakh to those who lost their life in this accident. 50,000 will be given to those affected in this accident. Now we'll go to Hyderabad, where my colleague Uma Sudhir will tell you stories related to Telangana.
Thank you, Ashish. Kavita, who was suspended from the BRS and resigned as MLC, has been doing tours reaching out to the public, but today she went all guns blazing at not just the Congress government but also the BRS. She has in fact issued legal notices to T News, which is a channel that's owned by the BRS party, and also to BRS MLA Madavaram Krishna Rao, and also to a BJLP leader Aleti Maheshwar Reddy. The reason is that she says defamatory and wrong allegations have been made against her husband, and she wants all these parties to apologize within a week. And she says the land dealings that he said to have indulged in are all wrong, that he has never dealt with government land, that he only done business on private land. And what is most interesting is that she says that the Congress is in a sense hand in glove with the BRS. She says Revant Reddy, the Chief Minister, she says has just like a snake who has already swallowed a frog and therefore satisfied and not wanting to act against the BRS. She says there were also benefits that had come to him because of the BRS rule irregularities, and she in fact for the first time perhaps putting out her political ambitions in the open. She said, God willing, whenever she becomes Chief Minister, she would order a probe into all the alleged irregularities that happened since 2014. In fact, she has also targeted Harish Rao, her cousin and also former minister and BRS leader, saying that he is behind all these allegations that are being made by the BRS MLA from Kukatpalli, and she has counter allegations she has put, saying that the Kukatpalli MLA's son is involved in certain dealings that are violating acts and that the Hydra agency should act against him. Let's listen to what Kavita had to say regarding the allegations against her husband.
ఆయనకి ఈ బీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీలో జరిగినటువంటి వ్యాపార లావాదేవీలకి అవుట్ రైట్గా సంబంధం ఉంది కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు సైలెంట్గా ఉంటారు. సో లెట్ టైం డిసైడ్. ఎప్పుడన్నా ఎవరైనా ఎంక్వైరీ చేస్తే డిసైడ్ అయితే చూద్దాం. ఏమీ కాకపోతే నాకెప్పుడో ఒకసారి టైం వస్తుంది కదా, దేవుడు దయ ఉంటే నేను ముఖ్యమంత్రి అయితే కదా ఒకనాడు. ఆనాడు మాత్రం 2014 తెలంగాణ వచ్చినప్పటి నుండి ఇప్పటి వరకు అన్ని అన్యాయాల మీద నేను మాత్రం ఆరాధిస్తాను.